welcome to our Ellipse Unsealed podcast. Today, we have with us a very special guest from Dynamics User Group, Brianna Sierra. Hi, Brianna.
Hi.
Hey.
And Bobby, who is now also at Dynamics User Group.
I'm still have some purple on this morning, but yeah, enjoying my second week now at Doug.
Yeah.
Yeah, really loving the team and excited to help community, which is what we're here to talk about as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So Brianna is the member manager there at Doug. Brianna, if you want to kind of do some introductions yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and Doug as well, you can get into it.
Yeah. I wore my purple Doug shirt so we can represent both sides.
Nice. I love it.
But I'm Brianna Sierra. I'm based in Queens, New York. As Savannah has said, I am member manager here at Doug. So my job is focusing on organizing and addressing the needs of the Doug community to the best of my ability. So I'm responsible for ensuring that our sponsors, our speakers, committee members, volunteers, and all of our community members are well taken care of. So I first started at Doug like 2 years ago when I was in college. I was a social media intern and I just could not get away. And today I'm member manager. So it's been really fun.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. You get to start out with them. And then I saw you briefly worked in somewhere in between, but then ultimately coming back to Doug. So that's really awesome.
Yep. Couldn't get away.
Yes.
And I quickly learned like on day one that she's the Swiss Army person, like that does everything.
Swiss Army knife, they say.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like you know what Swiss Army knife is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can do a little bit of everything. So she can pop out a saw blade,
I see.
a pair of scissors, whatever, just to be able to pick up. If anybody needs anything, she's the person you turn to.
Jack of all trades.
Yep.
Definitely try raising my hands for whenever our team needs help with anything. I think on our team, we really do try just supporting each other to reach everyone's goals.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
funny.
That's great. Yeah, and Doug is also our community sponsor for this year's D365 Tech Connect, which is kind of what we're here to talk about today. That, along with Dynamics Con Live, just kind of like a smash-up episode, I guess you could say. Bobby, do you want to kind of talk a little bit about how Tech Connect stands out from other events a little bit?
You bet. Yeah. So, I've been in community a long time and been to giant events and small events. And I think each of them has a great purpose, for somebody like a partner, a ISV, a user, anybody going can find a real good purpose for every size. But I really love, I just this year went to a big event. It was a huge industry specific public sector event. There was 4,000 people there. Just the hustle and the bustle and it's just like, energy upon energy. And I flew right from there. That was in Orlando. Flew right to Park City to a more of an end user a partner led boutique event. And it's just, it's a different vibe, still impactful, but 150 to 200 people. And you get to, talk to everybody and get to really engage. Some really cool networking opportunities that weren't as, weren't the same as what we just experienced at that bigger event. So I really like both sides, but I tend to lean, heavy on these intimate because I think you get to see and you get to talk to people, one-on-one with a lot more time to do so. And that to me is important. That networking piece has always been important. And, Tech Connect does a lot of that, which is awesome.
Yeah, definitely. That's really cool how you could see like from one end of the spectrum to the next, all within 1 week. Brianna, we're calling that week like Bobby's World Tour because it felt like, especially last summer, you were just like here and there and like all across the country.
I know. And I think I was somewhere in between? I felt like I might have gone, I do this a lot. If I've got the opportunity, I'll hop to my folks' house in Virginia. If I can do it in between, I might have done it in between. I might have flown from Orlando, stopped over in Richmond for a few days and then flown out to Park City is a possibility. Or maybe somewhere else. I feel like there was like 3 things in one. Yeah, no, I like the travel side. I like getting out and meeting people. So these events are awesome. And whether or not they're in person or virtual, which is, what Doug has upcoming for its next big event is DynCon Virtual in November. just a day before Tech Connect, or no, a week before Tech Connect.
Yes.
So it'll be awesome. Yeah. Tech Connect will be a buzz with all the learnings they just got done, spending on online virtual with DynCon.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be giving thanks in November for sure for all these educational events happening.
Yep. Thank you for the turkey and the mashed potatoes and the D365 learning.
Yeah, around the table, Grandma's like, "What's that?"
My notes.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Yeah, and like you were saying, you went to the event out in Utah that was like 200 or so people, and D365 Tech Connect, like last year we had under 100, so it's even more small and intimate, and you can really, really get to know everyone on a personal level by the end of those 2 days, which is really amazing. And offering
it's
those
like the regionals, Brianna. Like, when you go to a regional, it's about 100 people or so, give or take, 130, 140 people now. And you've got experts from every level. So I love these meetings. We were just on a Doug leader call, and one of the topics was around, speakers and people who are in the industry that are just super smart at what they do. And in previous years, like prior to pandemic, there was a pretty big onus on keeping ISVs and partners out of local meetings because of the potential conflict and stealing customers and just nonsense like that. But it really excluded a huge amount of knowledge. I mean, these folks at partners and ISVs have been doing this. This is a cross, product and industry type of ecosystem where one day, a person's here, then they're at ISV, then they're at Microsoft, then they're back at an end user, and they just pick up all this knowledge, and you hate to exclude that. So, Doug has really opened up these meetups to anybody as long as you're educating. And you're providing information about a core product. It's awesome. And so this is what you're getting at this level, is this, Microsoft, ISV, partner, all there for education and trying to just, uplift the community.
Yeah, not only like education, but just like connecting on similar passions. Like, I think that's what the best part about all of these events, bringing people together and really like connecting on that.
Heck yeah, sure. Yeah, a lot of passion for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, Doug. You guys do a great job at hosting events every month and things like that. And they're all free, right?
Yeah. Except for the in-person Dynamics Con, they're all free.
Yeah, which is awesome, which we also have that in mind as well with Ellipse's D365 Tech Connect. It's not free, but it's $89, which in these days
might as well be free.
Free.
I mean, it's pretty free. I mean, that's like a a $10 bill now. $89 almost seems like nothing.
Right. And yeah, we give out a lot of discount codes and things like that as well. So
definitely hit up Savannah for those discount codes. Flood her code requests.
Yes, definitely. But yeah, Brianna, do you kind of want to transition into a little more on DynCon Virtual and like the content that you guys have for this year? I know that you guys just released your agenda and things like that. So
yeah, so DynamicsCon Virtual, November 13th, we have 6 product tracks. I know, woo woo. 6 product tracks and 8 educational sessions per product track. We just closed voting earlier later in September, and then we put all the highest voted sessions together into the agenda, and we just dropped it. So I came up with a few sessions that I wanted to highlight for FO users that I think will get them excited. One that I thought was pretty cool was how to battle growth through automated performance testing in high volume complex environments by Lise Marie and Lathavo. So they'll be talking about how to test your system's performance in complex environments, especially when you have like multiple apps and integrations. And it's especially helpful for people dealing with time-sensitive processes, as well as ensuring systems perform well in high load conditions. So we have just a bunch of different sessions that will not only improve processes for FO users, but also help them learn new ones, as well as learning how to use different tools like co-pilot. That seems to be a hot topic right now within the community. So we have different sessions in that. So there's a lot to offer out there and to benefit FO users. I could highlight other sessions, but there's 8 of them. So there's going to be, that'll take up the whole podcast.
I'm gonna bang a couple things there. Love the fact that it's user voted, so the sessions are out there and the users get to go up and uplift the content, which is neat. That's unusual in an event. Typically, it's a programming committee that's reviewing. In this case, it's all led by the users, which is awesome. I love the having it virtual opens up the international and global content, which is kind of cool. You see a lot more global presenters at virtual. A lot of strong knowledge and dynamics. It originated in Europe, so there's still, that's still the kind of the core base of knowledge is over there, which is really cool. And the sessions are set up so that there's a question and answer afterwards. So it's not just watching a video and it's done. The folks that are the experts that are there have time afterwards to answer questions and interact with the audience. So even though it's virtual, there is some interaction, which I think is also a cool thing that happens at this event.
Yeah, after every session, there's like a 10-minute live Q&A for, like Bobby said, that interaction. But we also have these like roundtable discussions. So if there's more discussion needed, you can go to there and continue the conversation. We're also still like talking about creating roundtables with things like women in tech and exciting things. I don't want to give too much away. They're still in the kitchen cooking up, but for other like means of interaction and engagement, we have like virtual sponsor booths as well. You can network on our conference app platform. You can schedule meetings. So we try our best to still incorporate and foster like community engagement, even though it is a virtual event.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, very cool. Even though you're not in person seeing everybody, you basically can still interact with everyone. Not the same, obviously, but still very much so. So that's very cool. Yeah.
And what? So from TechConnect side, when talking about networking, what are just uplift and talk a little bit about the networking opportunities, Savannah, that people can experience at TechConnect.
Yeah. So like I said, it is a very small event. So networking is just kind of throughout the whole event in itself. But there's also times to network, like we'll have breaks and things like that. But the main thing is we have a networking event at the end of the first evening at a pub called Dublin Pub. So like we said before, whip out your Irish jigs, get that going. And yeah, it'll just be a fun night of casual drinks and dinner and a competitive, friendly game of trivia.
I like the competitive but friendly.
Yes.
The competitive but friendly.
You gotta wait out a little bit. So yeah, we always have such a great time there. That's like one of my favorite things throughout the event. And then also we do have a charity kind of team building event at the end of the second day. So in the past, this has consisted of trikes, bikes, and wagon building, and we've always thrown in a couple of like random things. But this year, we're going to do it a little differently. We're going to have like a putt-putt course building. So we're going to have like canned goods, just other non-perishable items that we can donate to our local organization and have everyone kind of creatively work together in their teams to build a putt-putt course. So we'll also provide like some crafty things like cardboard and things like that. Maybe add a bridge in there somewhere, get creative. But it'll still have that competitive sense of we'll be judging on uniqueness and difficulty. So and then at the end of it all, we'll package it all up and we'll send it to Flock. And so that is also one of my other favorite things. And it really gets everyone thinking and just interacting with each other in ways that they maybe wouldn't have before. So
yeah, I'm interested to see which team is going to go for the water feature in their putt-putt hole. Somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to create a water feature.
Yes.
So you'll get all these goods together. Each team will get a certain amount of canned goods, and then they have to build this. It's pretty fun. And if you think about it, like a couple years running, like so we built bikes. Built, first year was bikes, then bikes, trikes, and wagons a couple of years, and couple different iterations of how, if you ever watched like games like Food Network game shows, we were trading in and out tools. So, one team might have an actual screwdriver, the other team got a penny to try to screw together the stuff. So it's like, and then they had to steal back and forth. So it's a really fun team building event for everybody and a fun way to network. Something that's, an indelible memory that they'll carry with them going forward.
Definitely.
Wow, that seems challenging.
Yes.
Yeah. A little bit of trauma bonding there, but that's fine.
Exactly.
That first year was it was so frenetic at the start of that first one we did, the bikes, trikes, and wagons, and just people were running and trying to grab tools, and it was a mayhem. It didn't go quite as organized as in my head as we were planning. It was like, it was a little bit, it got out of control. It got a little bit out of control.
Hunger Games vibes there.
Yes. Yeah, literally.
But a good time. And the organization is called For Love of Children. It's called Flock, and they provide toys and we've donated bikes because they were looking for gifts for Christmas. So these kids are, kids who would normally get something are getting a nice bike. This year we tried to shift it up just to make it different for the attendees. But so we're getting just food and stuff, but just in other, goodies. But great organization that's local to Dayton, Ohio, where Ellipse is located. And they really appreciate it. They love getting this attention and joining us for the event as well.
Yeah, definitely. They sent me a picture last year of one of the kids who received the bikes, like riding his bike outside and stuff. So really having something to like show what we are doing and what we're donating to is really awesome. So
yeah, big impact for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And right before Thanksgiving too. So it's kind of getting you into that giving season, which is really cool as well. So yeah, it is really fun.
Cool.
Yeah. Is there anything else that we really wanted to touch on, Bobby?
We should probably point out, obviously we'll have all the links, right? So if you're need to sign up for D365 Tech Connect, we'll have a link here if you need to sign up for, and you do need to sign up for both of these, by the way. Virtual, we'll have the link there as well. Any dates or anything we're concerned about, making sure people are aware of at this point? Virtual is free, so sign up to the day it starts, right?
Yep, you can sign up. You can tune right in on November 13th. It'll be hosted on our conference at Brella, so you just have to register on the website and then create your Brella profile to join in on the fun.
Yeah, it's a really good virtual event, by the way. In 2020, there was a couple of virtual conferences that were out there, and Doug put on the best. I mean, the software hadn't quite developed, so whatever software, whatever platform Doug chose out of the gate was really easy to digest and use. Some of the others I think that were out there were not. Some of them were just a complete mess. And it was, I remember one, I spent most of my time trying to help people in some kind of virtual room where people would come if they were having issues, and little avatar would bounce in and I can't find a session. And I was like trying to find it for them. And so just a lot of wasted time and just, again, unfortunate because it just was, I think, a new technology, trying to figure out quickly, how do we make this virtual space look exactly like a conference, which was probably the wrong way to go, is there's too much and just too, whereas it was what Doug did was pretty simple, but effective. And so it's a really easy virtual platform to digest this. I think if I remember correctly, you can jump in and out of tracks. Like, hey, I'm in the middle of watching a session. I just want to jump into this other track, just quickly do it. There's there's nothing you have to worry about, like having to be registered for multiple tracks. Just jump in and out when you need to.
Yeah, each product track has its own stream. So if you're like, I'm feeling a little BC, I'm feeling a little FO, you can get a taste of everything. So,
Yep. Makes it easy.
Yeah.
And nothing, no date wise for no dates for Tech Connect at this point, right? No other.
No cutoff dates. Obviously, the sooner the better, just so you can, if you need to put travel plans and I'm losing my words.
You're floating around. I see them behind you. Just reach behind you.
If you need to get your travel plan set is what I'm trying to say. Obviously the sooner the better for that, to book your hotel, or possibly if you need to book a flight or anything like that. But yeah, we don't have a cutoff date. If you want to register the day before, go right ahead. We'd be happy to welcome you. But yeah.
Cool.
And then, yeah, one thing about sessions as well for Tech Connect, you guys were talking about how Doug has it all figured out as well. But yeah, I wanted to point out that all of our sessions are in the same room. So basically, you can just choose a desk for the 2 days and you can kind of stick there if you want.
There you go.
You don't have to like find your rooms or anything like that. I know that can kind of be a little stressful for some events or kind of getting your schedule set in stone. But yeah,
Yep.
we kind of have that all figured out for you. So yeah, just wanted to note that. So,
and that agenda is also, you know, when you look at the page, can you see when you're registering, can you see the agenda now on the registration page, right?
Yeah, we have not the set agenda yet, but we do have all the sessions planned out from either
Cool.
if it's from Ellipse Solutions or Microsoft Sessions. All those descriptions and titles will be there for you.
And for Tech Connect, you mentioned 8 sessions for F&O, but how many sessions, do you know, Brianna, how many sessions altogether?
48 sessions for virtual. Cool. Yeah, cross product, BC, all the tracks.
All the biggies.
Yep.
And Tech Connect is going to be mostly focused on F&O, some CE maybe, Copilot, AI definitely crossing over. But to be clear, no BC or GP for this event, but for the Tech Connect event, and very technical. So whereas virtual, for DynCon Virtual is kind of a little bit of everything. Functional, could be technical. It's kind of a mixed bag. D365 Tech Connect is very technical and nature, geared towards developers and admins and those folks. But I found even functional users. We had Jody Kronk on, and she's a functional. They get something out of it. When you're a functional user, sometimes when you hear something technical, you're like, now I know what we can do. And I can go back and bug my developers and you know, IT folks about, you know, getting something done, you know, for me as an end user. So
yeah, and like building off of each other. You see at a lot of these events, like somebody has one idea and you're like, oh snap, like I needed that for mine. And then, you know, constantly like pushing each other to be better. Yeah.
The more you attend these events, these local meetings, that starts to build up like a foundation. You just start to piece things together, and each event helps you to build this bigger picture of what is possible in whichever product you're using or multiple products that you're using. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I just was in a recording with one of our first-time DynamicsCon speakers, and she was really emphasizing how you should just utilize your community, and like you don't even have to be like a consultant. Like if you just fully use these events such as Tech Connect and DynamicsCon Virtual, you can create some value, bring to the table some valuable lessons to like your company and everyday life to make your life easier.
Awesome to hear that from a first-time speaker too. That's great.
Yeah. Shirley Rhymes, shout out.
Cool. Yeah, I connected with her. I'm hoping to see her upcoming here in a week or so.
Yeah.
Continue that conversation.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I think we kind of covered a lot of the things we wanted to for both DynCon Virtual and Ellipse Solutions. Both great educational events that everyone should definitely check out. Ellipse Solutions, I don't think has any sessions this year at DynCon Virtual, but we still want to advocate for that because we're all about education over here. So you guys put on a great virtual event, obviously, and yeah, it really benefits the community. So yeah, like Bobby said, we will be posting links for both to register. So yeah, go do that whenever you please. Sooner rather than later, obviously, would be best. But yeah, if we don't have anything else, Brianna, normally we end out these sessions by asking some fun, silly questions, just to end on a light note. So if you're cool with that, we can kind of end out.
Bring on the silly.
What you got? Yep, time to get the silly on. Yep.
Yes. Okay. The first question that I have is, in your opinion, which color has the worst personality?
Worst personality.
Wow.
I feel like gray, like that's boring. Obviously, so Doug has a lot of colors in our palette.
Yes.
He's definitely not on them because we don't do plain in Doug. So
yeah. All the Doug colors have personality for sure. We should think about that as an initiative. Just we need to name each color Like, you remember those little happy face, sad face people? I don't know if you remember this from like the 80s, maybe, but they're still around. You'll see like Mr. Grumpy, and he's like, you know, kind of dark purple, and Mrs. Happy, she's yellow, and they'll pop up on t-shirts and stuff. We need to name each of the colors and give them an actual like anamorphic being that we can play off of.
Make them a superhero.
Superhero, exactly. Yep. I'm gonna go with brown. I don't know why.
True.
I love brown. I love earth colors too. I love brown and green and blue and just all those earth colors. But something that just the first thing that popped in my mind was brown.
Yeah, that is. I'd have to agree with that and go in the same vein of like black, probably just like super gloomy. Yeah. But one thing I did want to bring up was I don't know if like in school you guys would have certain color binders for certain color subjects. Yeah, so my least favorite subject was always science, but that one was always green. And then in high school, my school color was green, and I hated green back then, but now it's like my favorite color. So
okay. Was it a certain type of green? Was it like dark green, light green, bright green?
The binder was normally like lime green, but yeah.
Okay.
I just thought that was something fun. The next question I have is, what is the weirdest gift you've ever received?
Oh my gosh, I have one. It was a fish. It was like I was young. I was young, and my friend decided to give me like a betta fish as like a present, and my mom was so angry. She was just like, oh my god, like she's not gonna be able to like take care of this fish now. I have to take care of it. And yeah, love animals. Don't get me wrong, I'm not an animal hater, but it was just a lot. And like fish are a little bit smelly, so I think it didn't last too long, and I gave it to my neighbor, and I named it Monkey too. Don't know why, but I would have to say that was an odd gift for me.
That is an odd one, yes.
It took me a second, but one came to me, and it may not be the weirdest, but it's the first one I thought of. My grandmother used to package up things from around her house to give us at times when she maybe couldn't go out shopping. And I think I got it was a slightly used soap from Avon. It was a whale. Yeah. It was wrapped in tissue and then wrapped up. I was like, I opened it up. I was like, oh, the tissue still kind of stuck to it. So yeah. I'm pretty sure I used it. Yeah.
Oh my god, classic Avon. My grandma's an Avon lady, so yeah. I know all about that.
A lot of Avon soaps and shaped perfume things,
Yes, yeah. Mine is kind of similar to Bobby's story, I guess, but it was back when my husband and I like first started dating, and it was like my first Christmas with him, and his grandma had given me this random like frog salt shaker, and this frog was like doing like a random pose. He was like it was just like, and I didn't get the pepper shaker, it was just salt, so I was like, thank you. And then I was like talking to my husband about it later, and he was like, yeah, I got the peppers, the other half of it.
Wow, that's cute.
I think in her mind she's like, oh yes, or whatever, which it was cute, but it's just like so random too. Yeah. Especially like when I first opened it, I was like, okay, sure.
It might have been some kind of like dark magic she was putting on you. Like, were you engaged at that point? She was like doing spells like Freaky Friday or something. She put a spell on him.
Probably. Now that you say it, yeah, her witchcraft was coming out strong.
Her witchcraft is doing well, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then the last question I have for you guys is, do you prefer carving pumpkins or painting pumpkins?
Painting pumpkins. I hate carving pumpkins. It is so messy, and the guts, they get everywhere, and it smells weird. Yeah. I feel like in this I came off as not a fun person. I swear I'm fun. I love to draw too, so painting is definitely more fun for me.
That makes sense. Yeah.
You can do a little more with painting. Carving, it takes, I've tried to like, you ever buy those stencils and like, I'm gonna try to make the coolest pumpkin ever, and you see somebody do it on a YouTube and I can do that, and
yeah.
It comes out, it flops, and it's awful.
It's a massacre.
Yeah, you're massacred, and it looks nothing like the picture. You're like, ugh.
Yeah.
I am the person in my house that got, you know, saddled with doing all of the pumpkin gutting. Like, so it's like, I feel like a hunter, like, you know, coming back from a big hunting thing with pumpkins, and I'm the one that's got to rip all the guts out. I went out and buy the pumpkins. I've got to gut them, and then you get to come in and carve them, because nobody wanted to do what you were just talking about, you know, grabbing all that stringy, mungy stuff that's inside the pumpkin.
Yeah.
That's on me. But I do like to carve them. I do like to carve them.
Yeah.
It is fun to carve. I like a little bit of both, but I think I do maybe prefer carving over painting. It's just, I don't know, in my head it's like so classic and stuff like that. I do agree that Brianna, like the guts and stuff do have like a weird consistency, and I'm not a fan of that either. But and carving is a little hard too, like Bobby said. I've seen people they like shave out the outer parts of like the portions that they want carved, and then if you have chickens, they put them out in the chicken coop, and the chickens will like carve them out for them, which is kind of cool.
I know. Once you look at my Instagram reels, like recently, I looked at one person doing that chicken, and then all of a sudden everybody was doing weird things to carve pumpkins. Like a guy with a pressure washer was like, you know, pressure washing the, you know, holes in the pumpkin, or, you know, like you said, chickens were pecking holes in the pumpkins.
Yeah, craziness. Cool. Well, those are all of the questions that I have for you guys today. So thanks for playing along. And yeah, Brianna, thanks for joining us and sharing all about DynCon Virtual and everything. And Bobby, you as well, as always.
Yeah,
happy to be here and talk community. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you guys, and talk soon.
Yep. Thanks, Savannah. Thanks, Brianna.